Wow. Oh, right. I should really start it from the other screen. Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to our amazing live stream that I'm always so prepared for. I've got my dearest friend and actual painter, Flo, here.
Hello.
She's the painting. And I'm the chatting. So, hello and welcome to everybody in the chat. Adeptus Ridiculous, I know you can't stay long, but I appreciate you popping by. You mentioned having a thing on my Facebook. I have to figure out how to actually see posts made to me on Facebook because they like to update everything and hide information from people who hate their technology. So, bear with me. I will go find it. Hey, Savage Brusky, welcome. Finally made it back. Everyone, how's everyone doing? How are you doing, Flo?
I am doing A-okay.
A-okay, we're doing all right. We're in the last week of January. Well, sort of. I understand that January technically ends on a Monday, but this is really like the last full week of January. And so I don't know how everyone's New Year's has come along, but we're moving along.
It's a new year. It doesn't feel like it.
Hey,
Feels
Thomas
like the last
Griffith?
one.
No, it does not. Hi, Thomas. How are you doing? I did see your Facebook message with the cooler from Riot Quest. That's looking really cool. I couldn't get a sense of how big it was. Also, I haven't played Riot Quest, so. Adeptus, just keeping tabs before my class starts. Fair enough. Todd, welcome. Hey, Flo and Miranda, missed y'all. We missed you too. Plunderden, welcome. Hello. Hello, Bills. Adeptus Ridiculous, you and me. I hate computers, dude. Oh, yeah. It's like they're kind of, technology is so amazing in so many ways. It just feels like the way it gets developed is the most frustrating way. And so it's really hard to navigate. Oh, man. All right, Stream Elements running. I'm sure Paul will show up at some point. Poor guy's been staying up really late. He showed me a new video game because for those of you who've been following the chat for a while, I quasi-play Phasmophobia with Paul and now Flo, which is a ghost identifying game. And we play it on Steam. I don't know what all systems it's on.
I think it's just Steam.
Is it? Okay. And
Computers only.
And Paul's like level 100, and I'm like level 30-something, which is pretty good now in my view. And then you're coming along as well, Flo, but
I'm
like,
exactly 10 levels behind you.
Oh, okay. So like Flo and Paul will go into this house, and their job is to identify a ghost, but the ghost is dangerous and can kill you and does all these creepy, haunty things. And as a multiplayer game, I find it quite terrifying, but I'm also easy to scare, if I'm being honest. Which makes the escape room we've done here super amazing too. But, so I'm always hiding in the van, looking at the screens and delivering items to the front door.
When you're not disappearing on us ahead of time.
Once in a while. So, gotta love Phasmo, great for a night of fun and emergency bathroom trips. It is hilarious. Like, there are some amazing things that have happened in that game that we have pulled off. And then I started playing Dead by Daylight with my brothers and my cousin. So we'll have like a game night every once in a while as a way of staying connected because all my family's like scattered to the four winds, right? Like nobody's nearby. So this is how we get to be together, which is one of the positive things about technology. And so we play Dead by Daylight, which I also recently got you into. And that's also super fun, but way different, like a total different level of anxiety as your, friends hunt you down and kick your butt. And now I have just learned about the game I'm on Observation Duty, of which apparently there's like 4 of them. So obviously late to the game. I never thought I'd be following all these horror movies or games, but here I am. Hey, Paul, welcome in. Yeah, Phasmo. It's super fun. So, so now I'm watching Paul, my moderator, play I'm on Observation Duty, which is this super creepy game where you stare at different security monitors, but the house that you're looking at, and all these rooms that have the different cameras in them, the house is haunted or otherwise being affected interdimensionally. And so your job is to spot the differences you have to use both observation skill and memory. So I've lost all but one game hanging out with Paul of the multiple ones we've played. It is way tougher than it looks. And there will be like subtle differences, like something will be a different size or something will get moved around. And then there will be like some random chick crawling around on the ceiling. And you're like, oh, well, that's different.
It's the grudge.
Report an intruder. It's so weird. So these have been my distractions of January. Spooky games of January. So.
Spoopy.
Yeah. Damn, I like the Zombieland zombie. Yes, actually, Flo, can you remind everybody where you get that zombie from? At best.
It's a 3D print from Loot Studios.
Loot Studios, which I did link in the last video that I had, because you had two busts. One was the Medusa.
Yes.
And then this one is, do you remember his name?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember his name.
Well, Hefe
I
here.
think he's like a cultist or something. Like one of their cultist creatures.
Oh, that did not work out well in his favor. But anyway, yeah, Loot
Because
Studio.
it ever does.
Well, what does Loot Studio run? Is it a subscription thing, or?
Yes, it's subscription. It's $15 a month, I believe, and they give you a bunch of files every month.
Okay. Like how many?
35?
35? Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, they give you a fair amount.
More than you'll probably ever print or use. But then I guess you can share them. So that's really cool. Vassal of Menoth, glory to Menoth. Ah, yes. Let's see, Paul. Just feeding the cat. Ah, you're all good, Paul. Ugh. Yeah, I know. I have a pet cat mascot named Thomas, and he's a tomcat. Wah, wah. Yep, the grudge is gonna get ya. Oh my god. Got cat on the lap now. Pet him until he bites. My cat will sometimes hop up on my lap.
My
the
cats
trick
don't
is,
bite.
no, your cats are super nice. Although my cat's never bitten either. Like,
Well, if it did, you'd probably smack it.
yeah, Mesa would get smacked if she pulled that nonsense. Mostly if she just gets uncomfortable with something, she'll get real pissy and hiss, but then run away. And so like, all right, whatever. You're just feeling some personal space issues, so run off. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, never let a cat bite you. That's not okay. But yeah, like sometimes, specifically if you look really busy, she wants your attention and wants to hop up on your lap or sit on your fabric or sit on your paperwork or whatever it is you're doing. Let's see, one of those things is not like the other. Yeah, that's exactly what the game is. But it's so spooky because you'll flip from camera to camera and you're looking, it gets you really focused, right? Have you guys ever seen that old internet GIF that people would post on like a Facebook or whatever? You'd go to a web page and it would show you like this maze. And you're watching this dot go through a maze. And as it gets more toward, I think, the center of it, it starts zooming in more, and the maze gets tighter and tighter, and it really pulls your focus. And then suddenly it clips to, like, you know, some zombie face screaming at you or whatever. And so it's just designed to shock you because it's already pulled you in and made you focus on it. It's kind of what this game really does, because you get used to looking at subtle differences between the different screens, and then suddenly there will be, like, a big creepy difference. And some of it's really disturbing. So it's nice. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's, I guess. Maybe that's what I've heard. I've never played that game, so. Good evening. Hi, Brian Montgomery. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we saw them. Did we see that movie? No.
Which one?
No.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, it's a video game.
Yeah, I know it's a video game, but then there was like movies, I think, that were like
No,
like
there's
it.
a couple of them. One of them with, not the Bees guy.
Not Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage, yeah.
The Bees.
The Nicolas Cage movie.
I kind of want to see that one, just because.
Just for the meme? Oh my gosh. It's funny that I'm a dog person, but never a cat person. He's grown on me so much that I want to steal him from the owner. Well, you know, some cats are just extra cool like that.
Pen, for example.
Oh, Pen Pen's the best. She's so weird. Paul, for anyone curious, I'm on observation duty as 4 games and are indie and cheap via Steam. It's a horror, Where's Wally? Or Where's Waldo? Yeah. Yeah, I think the games are like $5. It's not much. And it's funny because it's the type of thing where I'll look at it as a Steam game and I'll be like, man, there's so many ways to make money in this world. Why can't I figure these things out better? It's like the things you see out in the world where you're like, man, I'm an idiot. Why didn't I think of that? So, ho-hum. But I don't know. I'll just send the ideas to my brother. He actually makes video games. So, let's see. Close, but no, this is more spot the difference. Oh, okay, yeah. Bills, I finished building a new piece of wargame terrain. It's an octagonal tower made from cereal boxes and masking tape. I have it about half painted. Isn't that crazy how much, because all you really need that stuff is the structural integrity, right? You're just basically building an armature using cardboard, pipe cleaners, friggin' paper clips, whatever. And then once you either get some foam around it and or paint it, it makes such a crazy difference. I love that stuff. What are you all working on tonight anyway? Flo, what are you working on tonight?
I am currently painting a Necron Warrior. Or at least trying to finish one, because
yeah,
finishing them has been a pain. I'll get partway done, and I'm like, no, I'm done with this for a while.
Well, I noticed you'll batch them, right? You'll do batches of, 5, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah, because if I don't, I'd wear out real fast.
Like just doing, for a troop unit, it seems like it makes the most sense. Is Pen Pen a Neon Genesis Evangelion reference?
Yes.
Yes, it is. But she is way better than that penguin was. Like, Pen Pen's just ridiculous attention.
She is a tuxedo cat, though, so it's appropriate.
True. Hey, Jeremy. I just woke up. I'm not working on anything. You know what? Sometimes that's really nice. Todd, painting the details of my clockatrice. Yes, I love that model. He's so good. Got the metallics done and looking neat. Oh man, there's so many cool little details you can put on there too, because he's got like the little back plates. I think I did that in a brass, and then you can do all kinds of stuff with the front facing of it. I made his eyes glow. I gave him that purple glow because there's that whole theme within the Grimkin. But man, the model itself, like the rules for that thing, oh, they're so good. Let's see, put it in. I'm working on a gateway for Frontier Fort. Oh, nice. Savage Brewski, I'm working on a YouTube video to make a full terrain set from foam board, sort of instant scenery for the Every Gamer, and some Rhett and Gates of Antares. Oh, wow, you are busy. So foam board is always super cool. Like, we've talked about building terrain, and foam core is probably one of the more sound and strong terrain pieces where you get the benefit of lightness, like it's light, and then also some degree of structural integrity if it falls, because there's so much people do with just plain foam, like styrofoam, and that stuff I always worry about breaking, especially if you have pillars and other structures on the whole piece. I just worry about that stuff breaking, but foam core it's a little better.
Cardboard covering the foam, so
the covering adds a lot, and it's super cheap still. I think you could get it at a dollar store, although I guess $1.25 store now, officially. Good evening, all. Working on Mage Hunter Strike First. Oh, the Strike Force. I assume they're still as good as ever. Actually, I finally got War Room loaded on my new tablet, which I was looking up the Infernals earlier as I read the last 2 weeks of Hengehold scrolls for you all, because I detest Twitter, and reading everything through there is honestly a chore. Like, I want to hear the information, but man, navigating Twitter for that is so frustrating. Oddly enough, no Mage Hunter Strike Force. The Iosians were too busy enslaving a infernal, turning Gershild into a Void Archon, and turning on the Scorn. So they've been busy. We didn't really see turning. Yeah, a lot of twisting and turning in the Nether. Let's see, Paul, continuing my shipbuilding again. Second patents on the way. Dude, your ships look amazing. Let's see, Savage Brewski. Basically, foam board needs no tools, can be mocked up into many shapes, and structures can be brought anywhere. Really, for anyone in any game. Yeah, I mean, the only limit you have there is scale, right? Just based on what you are building, but that's pretty cool. Sam Hinchy, welcome, welcome. All right, well, let's do a quick spoiler clip for anybody interested in the updated lore information on the Hengehold scrolls, and I'll try to be a little bit less distracted this time, because the last 2 weeks there were many tweets about the new information that has come out. The last we left off, I think Tristan Durant, Thyra tried to kill him. She changed her mind. It's like, maybe this isn't Menoth's will. Maybe Fiora is in fact a crazy, horrible person. And although Warveggies isn't here, so it's less fun to make fun of Fiora. She is unfortunately still alive. But so is Krios, and he's going to be chasing her down. And honestly, I root for Team Krios. And so that's where that all left off. But since then, Caitlin De La Martin, who is the queen of Lael, after a whole long roundabout thing there, with her guardian Ashlyn Dalese, they've had to flee Merwyn because Lael has just gotten the crap kicked out of it since basically 608 AR, so possibly earlier. 605 AR? Whenever Khador invaded it, like, they've just never had a good go of it. And they've had to flee Infernals, you know, their thing. It's a whole problem. They meet up with King Bard's army, who's the king of Ord, and they've kind of joined forces. And then they just sort of carry on going to Hengehold. It's really much just like a little side story of like, hey, this is kind of what they're off doing. Now we know from reading Requiem that Caitlin De La Martin never actually flees the planet. Like, she stays on Cain. I assume Ashlyn does too. Yeah, she definitely does. For those of you who may have read Cain's Hellslingers, Cain is another warcaster. He's on the Signarin side. He's one of my favorites story-wise. He's just like a roguish character, very much a Han Solo sort. But he has a daughter, well, the one he knows about anyway, and she ends up getting kidnapped by Crix, and it's this whole thing that he gets on this adventure in the book Cain's Hellslingers, which is really good, very enjoyable book, and you can get it on ebook if that is something of interest to you. Anyway, he goes off to Crix to go get his daughter back, because Cain is a determined fellow. And so we've just skipped time, and now Cain is back because he's at the fight of Hengehold, but he has Scar, the pirate queen Scar of Crix, like, helping him because she's also fighting against the Infernals. And so she's like sending broadsides from her ship. Cain gets his daughter back. They're like, everything's fine. And they're like, oh, okay. Felt like they could have been a whole book, but whatever. And so he's there with the Hellslingers, which are the rest of the Black 13th fighting. Cain's daughter is gifted, let's say, so she obviously has like warcaster capabilities and is able to control Ace, so that's super fun. Todd, I soak in the Menoth smack talk like a dying man finding an oasis. It's so fun. Hold up, they leave the planet? Some do. The Caitlin De La Martin doesn't, but yeah, an enormous portion, well, I don't know, a lot of people in Western Immorin end up fleeing through the gates of Hengehold into the continent of Cirrus, and that is where the game of Warcaster sprouts from. Like, hundreds or maybe thousands of years later, the game Warcaster that you play is descendant from people who fled Cain through a portal that was constructed by the Convergence of Cirrus and finished after Sebastian Nemo converts against his will, mind you, into a Convergence character model, because his daughter makes him. And so, yeah, like, a bunch of people just flee.
This is what I get for saving you.
Right? I know, it's like consent. You know, like, what the heck? But whatever. That's none of my business, I guess. Let's see, last week finished my block house and now building a wall around it. Foam and popsicle sticks. A lot of popsicle sticks. Oh yeah, those are great, especially like the craft sticks and all of that.
I have so many of them that I could be playing with.
Fiora's gonna get so wrecked. Krios is like the John Wick of Menoth. Man, now that is a book I'd read. Just like Krios not giving an F and just like going from town to town, just trying to find her. That'd be hilarious. I mean, they'd probably have a fairly epic battle. Like, she's no slouch, but Krios is the more righteous of the two, let's say. So anyway, yes, Cain's daughter Cynthia is Warcaster. Now, if you read the Hengehold scrolls for the last 2 weeks, this looks like it's at least coming to, or if not, has actually come to largely the conclusion of the big infernal battle, because the Iron Mother Directrix, who is of the convergence of Cirrus, plots to change the orientation of the gate. Right now, the gate is aligned to the Cirrus constellation, and that's where everybody's going off to, somehow. And that's that whole thing. So they're going to rejigger it to point another way, point to like the void. And so the Iron Mother Directrix and Syntherium plot to do that with the idea that they'll drag some Infernals into the gate, close the gate, and that's that. So she's able to, or they're plotting to do that, I should say. Meanwhile, Haley, they finally kind of come back around to Haley, because when you're reading her in the earlier Hengehold scrolls, she is using all of her chronomancy powers to try and help get everybody through the gate. And the way she's doing that, yeah, I don't know if I went out of focus. No, it's okay. Is that she is, okay. So it's a little confusing with Haley, because she literally saved her life one time by plucking herself out of a different point in time. So this is just an ability she has, and you kind of have to go with it and don't think too much about it because time. So there's like this one large airship, skyship, that everybody loads onto in order to go through this gate. There's only one of them. So what Haley's doing is, as everybody gets loaded onto the skyship and they go through the dimension, she uses her abilities, as far as I can tell, to pluck that skyship back out of time and bring it back to load new passengers onto it to go through again. And so she's obviously using an enormous amount of her power to do that. And she's always been like one of the more interesting characters in Signar. Like, she's actually just a good person. There's not the way everybody has to be kind of crappy in some way. Like, she actually just is a good person. Loved her family, loved her sister, even though she ended up being Denegra. Like, just was a good human. So they had to get rid of her. So she ends up expending all of her energy to the point where there's all these echoes of her, which is what the third version of Haley is. Third? Yeah. Where you have like past, present, future, and she's made so many versions of herself kind of doing this incredible magic ability that all the echoes like just disappear, including her. So she just fades away into the Grey Haven. Now, it's possible that she could very well just ascend because of that. Like, she's easily doing Morrow's work, you know? And she is a Morrowan. If nothing else, she'd at least ascend to be like an Archon or something. That's my view. If Stryker can become an Archon, I don't see why Haley wouldn't. So maybe, that'd be cool. We'll see.
Is he officially an Archon, or is that just a...
No, he's officially an Archon. He's actually mentioned in the text earlier, too. Magnus sees him. So, let's see. Well, he is a man of focus, commitment, and sheer will. This is true. Thomas, I am priming the bots for the heist expansion of Riot Quest. Nice. Haley's thread's really confusing. I can't tell if it's killing her or what, but that seems implied. Right? It is hard to tell. Like, she disappears. And so is she in the ether? Is she in another space and time? She might end up somehow being in Warcaster because of just her abilities are so unique. Nobody has the abilities of Haley. So, good afternoon. Hey, Titan. Welcome, welcome. The Archon of Time. That sounds OP. So it's kind of sad, but certainly not unexpected that Haley would end up going. But she does everything she can as the last passengers that they can get through the gate go through. The Iron Mother and Syntherion of the Convergence of Cirrus reroute the gate. The Iron Mother Directrix grabs Zadaroth. I had to write the names down because infernal names are unrememberable. And so she grabs Zadaroth, who's one of the infernal masters, one of the three, and takes her along with a guardian, which is the infernal colossal, who's got all these souls like that he's absorbed as he's tromped through the whole army, gets them to go through the gate, and then Kruger of the Circle of Boros, working with Syntherion, destroys the gate with like all the power of lightning and storms and all of that sort of thing. And so the gate is
Okay, Thor.
busted. Yeah, he totally Thors out and does it. That's exactly what happens. Like lightning strikes, he's in the sky. It's this whole dramatic thing. And then he's promptly killed by infernals because, I don't know, because that's just what they do, I guess. So poor Kruger, he's gone now. But now the gate is closed, and that's that. Like the gate's destroyed as well, and there's too many of the Convergence of Cirrus who appear to be gone. I don't think they'll be able to redo the gate. The Divine Architect, I believe, is who Nemo ended up becoming. He was the one who finished the gate at the very end, and he went through it along with his daughter Aurora. So, like, that knowledge is gone. And so then we just have everyone else who's stuck.
Thanks for your service, Captain Nemo.
Yeah, exactly. Haley becomes Star Trek's Time Donut. Time Donut? I don't know that one. Which Star Trek? I want to know. But yeah, no, Haley's story is actually one of the cooler ones. Haley and Kane are probably some of my favorite stories to read in the world of the Iron Kingdoms. So then, now with the gate closed, we follow back up to everybody else who's still just in the war. I mean, the fight is still raging on. One of the Infernals is now gone, including their huge colossal. So it's a huge blow to this battle. And then you have Amadamos, yes, who's another Infernal Master, who's also in the battle, and he is facing off against a bunch of Menites who are being led by the Harbinger of Menoth. And the Harbinger, gets in front of all of her men, like thousands or whatever of the followers of Menoth in an effort to protect them from this battle that's about to ensue. And right as Amadamos is coming to slaughter them, the heavens open up and Menoth brings down the Testament of Menoth, who's another warcaster, which I had to look up because these names are they don't mean anything half the time. The Testament of Menoth, the Flame of Menoth, the Flame of whatever. It's too much to keep track of. But anyway. I don't like to say Kador doesn't do it because they love all the word jack names that are like Decimator and Destroyer and Demolisher and Defenstrator. My personal favorite. It's a special model. It's an exclusive. But yeah, so the Testament comes down. Amadamos is pinned down by the sheer will and light of Menoth. And then the Testament just opens up a gate to Urkane, into the city of Man, and they all just go through it and they leave.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah. So if you think of who wins there, I get that the Infernals don't get their souls, but the tide was turning. They could have killed Amadamos, but they just leave. And so it's majestically told, but that's really the long and the short of just what happens. They all leave. And they all kind of die because now they're in Urkane in the City of Man, so bye. And now Amadamos turns around after having been weakened to find Alexia Cianor in the Legion of Lost Souls because she has raised the dead once more because she has to do this every 5 or 6 years because there's always crap happening, right? Hey, Melinda, how are you doing, girl?
Hell hath overflown, must create more
pylons? Let's construct more pylons. Kruger goes out to Immigrant Song. What a bro. I like it. Let's see. The original Star Trek where they go back to the 1930s and McCoy falls in love, but the girl lives in German, and the Germans... Oh, the girl lives, the Germans would... If the girl lives, the Germans win World War II. Did I see that one? McCoy falls in love. Was it like a secretary and he saves her from being hit by a car?
Miranda.
Huh.
The Eye of Terror is watching you.
What? Oh my God. Hey, Dave. Good to see you. Hi, Eye of Terror. Apparently. Oh my goodness. The Harbinger earned her rest. I guess. Yeah. Love those teas. Oh yeah, this was from Armor Class 10. I got this at, was it Adepticon?
No, it was...
Was it LVO? Oh yeah, LVO's in a few days. I'm still trying to figure out if I can somehow go. Like, can I make this happen? One day trip, something. I want to go to a convention so bad. But anyway, hi Dave. It's good to see you. I hear you, Tommy. Good to hear your voice.
Oh, he hears me.
I think there were some kissy emojis. They were edited out, but they're there for sure. For you. So, yeah. Okay, let me finish up the story because we're almost there. So Alexia slays Amadamos, also fairly unceremoniously because he's weakened. She just comes in with the sword. And because the Witchfire blade is a blade that absorbs souls and the energy, which, I mean, it has her mother inside of it as well as everyone else she's slain, the sword absorbs Amadamos. And just the sword is like bloated with the power of this infernal now. Slurp. But he's gone. So that's 2 infernals of the 3 down for
Ultimate
this whole army.
power.
Well, and that becomes actually a whole storyline in Requiem, where you have to help Alexia because the sword is now driving her crazy because there's so much power. Oh no. Anyway, so that all happens. So Amadamos is gone, and so Agathon, the last of the 3 infernals, is like, well, we're losing this battle. I'm just gonna go flee, and he rolls up some contracts because they all love their contracts because they're an army of lawyers or whatever. I don't know. And he flees into the darkness, never to be seen again. And there you go. The battle is over. And concludes the Hengehold scrolls. Maybe. I'm not sure if there's actually any more, but anything else would just be epilogue. So there you go. That's what happened in the Hengehold scrolls. Hey Patty, how you doing? Jeremy, I picked up a Vixia HFW10 yesterday. Vixia, is that Canon? Canon Vixia? Or is it Sony?
I think so.
Okay.
That sounds right.
Well, those are really beautiful lenses on those. I have no power to tag mini wargaming. I definitely kissy kiss Tommy. Yep, told you. I do miss mini wargaming. The I miss my dear Canadian friends. It's a manifestation of the black sword from Moorcock. Ah, okay. Thanks for the story. I need my blanket. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the conclusion, I think. I mean, there's 5 years that have passed since the Infernal Invasion and Requiem starts. So we've gotten to the end of the battle. I can see more stuff coming in to try and fill in the huge gaps that currently exist within the story.
Where did all the Iosians go?
Yeah, exactly, like where the Iosians are and why there's just this like bloody field that has carnivorous plants now. Over by its gate. Why are all the Iosians that you do see soulless now? What happened? Oh no.
I mean,
My theory is they successfully killed Syra, but the gods are what bestowed them souls, and now none of them have souls. And they're probably damned in the same way the Scorn are, where they don't go anywhere when they die. That's my personal guess. It would be...
honestly, I mean, if you act like you have no soul, then maybe eventually you just become soulless.
Despite how many edgelords out there think they are. No. No. Oh, man. Jeremy, yeah, Canon. Okay, that's what I thought. Jeremy, use an HF R800. It's been a brilliant camera. I mean, there's a lot of really good cameras. It just depends on what it is you're doing. Wargaming, they only have GoPros at this store. And I work at, so I went with it. Oh, nice. Yeah, what the hell happened between Syra and Nisor? Good question. Unclear. The last we left, Gershield went to the tomb of Nisor, and I think slayed him. It's implied, anyway. And after doing his whole Void Archon, sweeping the countryside and burninating the Scorn, Falseer.
Burning all this.
I know. All I see are memes when I'm reading all this stuff, and this is the downside to reading crap on Twitter, right? Because you cannot take anything serious. You can't take any news seriously when you read it on Twitter. I mean, half the time it's like, oh no, this dear celebrity died. And you're like on Twitter, and half the time you're just seeing some stupid meme post. It's like just the worst forum. The worst forum for any serious storytelling. So this is me complaining. Maybe. I know.
She's allowed to complain. She's had to deal with it.
Well, I guess. I don't know.
I don't really complain because I'm just like, no, Twitter, it's still a thing, huh?
It shouldn't be, right? But here I am. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not in charge of this stuff.
I think I lasted like 2 weeks.
Really?
Before I got rid of it. I was like,
Well, so I'm not really not ever on there. But I made a point because last time the whole Hengehold Scrolls came out, I didn't bother because I was like, I know they'll compile this at some point. I'll just read it then. And they did.
She does it because she loves you guys.
I do. But yeah, it was at least a couple of hours of reading through all the backlogged Hengehold Scrolls when they finally did compile it, because there's a lot of information there. And the hard thing is you'll get one little clip of a story, and it's like 40 tweets long to get through, and the order of it isn't always right. Like, you've got to click on it or tap on it or whatever in the right order. I don't know. I just sound like an old lady. But the whole idea is that it's just kind of hard to get through in that format. So I did it. I made a point to make notes.
That's what books were for.
Well, the story does have me interested in knowing what happened. So I wanted to keep up with it. But just me knowing my own frustration with it, I'm sharing it with you guys so that hopefully you all can avoid the frustration with it, is my hope. Let's see. Maybe they keep their souls at home in a jar. Maybe. Anyway, I just jumped on and I'm lacking context, Miranda. What's Hengehold? If that's your broader question, I get it. It'd be like a non-wargaming asking, what's Warhammer? Trying to answer in one sentence. No. The Hengehold is just the continued storyline of all the Iron Kingdoms stuff that happened. So for all the War Machine game lore, the Hengehold Scrolls, there's this prophet who exists in the world, who is kind of like this crazy prophet who speaks prophecy and tells the future and all of that. And he has a Twitter account like that he posts to. Anyway. So the idea is that, well, yeah, you gotta be crazy if you're gonna post some future crap on the Twitter account. Whatever. Anyway. The whole idea is that it's to fill in the story, because in the game, the Iron Kingdom's world, which is all the lore around War Machine, there's the new RPG that came out for Iron Kingdom's Requiem, and there's this gap in the story from where we left off with the new faction of the Infernals being released for Warhammer or War Machine, and then where we are at with the Iron Kingdom's lore for the RPG. And so this is all designed to fill in those gaps. And there's a lot of gaps to still fill in, but this kind of completed one of the major battles that occurred when the Infernals dropped as a faction. So I think that pretty well sums it up. Jeremy asked, let's see, I'm in Australia and couldn't find any cameras within my price range that could stream and have external mics, so I ordered from America. There you go. Go America. Jeremy, the Nis are so much better than the Iosians. Well, they're arguably less corrupted, maybe? They're less bureaucratic. I mean, the Iosians...
I mean, that means they're less corrupted, huh?
They're more friendly with the Khadorans, so that makes them better, right?
You'd think. They never really explored that, though. They just kept them, tucked away in the Skarsgård Mountains, and they made the Khadorans, racist against them and all that crap, so they just gave it zero dynamics at all. Let's see. But yeah, no, the Nis are cool. Machete, don't tweet. Savage. I remember Falsier pawned G4, but then someone went into the game and offered a mass power or something. Such a cliffhanger. Stallone showed up. You guys are making the story better, honestly.
So it's really just the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny.
It kind of was. I mean, everything's happening at the Hengehold at the gates of Hengehold.
Was hopping around Tokyo City like big.
And yeah, you have all the all-stars. You've got Nemo coming in. You've got Haley. You've got Kane. You've got Sorsha, kind of. You got Vlad. Oh, he dies. You've got the Butcher, because he's still alive for no reason. And then you've got whatever
Sonya,
else.
Johnny Cage.
Yes. Blue Meanie. All of them.
John B. the Genie.
And John B. the Genie. Let's see. Popped into strong bad reference.
Lopan, Superman, every single Power Ranger.
Laughed and almost messed up painting my citrus marines. Well, can't have that.
Spock the Rock, Doc Ock, and Hulk Hogan.
Varnak the Destroyer. We talking lore? Sort of? Kind of fell down to the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny. But that's also kind of what the Hengehold Scroll sort of was, so.
This is the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny.
Oh, so good.
That's totally on one of the CDs in my car.
Hmm.
Yes, I still listen to CDs. My radio is broken.
But then Chuck Norris deviated, or
Delimited.
no, a kick that would shatter bones.
Into the crotch of Indiana Jones.
This you're gonna get a response every time you guys do this. But seriously, how much do we want more Wargamer Girl bat reps again? I vote for this. Well, you may be in luck. Because we're in a studio that theoretically this can happen now in. What do you think, Tommy? My cameraman needs to make this call.
It just needs to be,
Mm-hmm.
or you have to record your voiceover and then it needs to be edited.
Yeah, the script's all written.
Somewhere out there, there are other gamers too.
Now you got her singing. Mini
Or
Wargame.
singing Bible songs.
Oh, wow. 1000% yes, battle reports. All right, I want this too. Just have to make it happen. And one of the big honest questions about it is, are they War Machine battle reports? Because I've got plenty of armies for that, but there's not exactly a lot of players for that right now, and I want to support the game, but I don't know that it's feasible. So there's just these, it's a little bit of an actuarial decision. And so then, funny you should mention that. I have my little 500-point list written here of my combat patrol for 40K, because once Kill Team decided to go to a new edition in which instead of using measuring sticks like a grown-up, you have to use shapes, which feel however you want about it. I think it's stupid, but I'm not judging. And so I was just not interested in Kill Team anymore. It just got really frustrating. So I'm like, well, why not just play 40K, just at a small points level? Because they kept bloating Kill Team anyway. It was 100-point games, and then it became 200-point games, and then it became 350. And you're like, but you could play a 500-point 40K game, just proper. And then you get to know 40K rules, and you don't have to keep remembering all these different rules. So that's been the discussion. And that's why I have many little adorable expendable men's to paint and finish up for my catachans. So yes.
And a tank.
And a tank. And a Valkyrie. A Valkyrie. Although maybe that's a little cheesy to put in a 500-point game. But I didn't want to keep painting little dudes. But maybe I can just be a better human. We'll see. We'll see what happens. More game. Oh my gosh, Mini Wargaming Studio. Thank you, Dave. Fine. For you, I will make a battle report. I can't tell you when. Thank you for the hype train, though. No, I know a lot of people want it, and I want it too. Just been a little busy. You know how I am with my timing. Savage Brewski. Oh, American Tail. Yes. Jeremy, it can be whatever game you enjoy playing. Well, okay, but that's gonna be video games right now because honestly, I've just been digging Phasmophobia.
It's just gonna be Stardew Valley.
No, maybe Stardew Valley. So that's what's okay. So I'll play Phasmophobia and Dead by Daylight and get all spooked out by it, and then I'm like, okay, I need to calm my brain, and so I play Stardew Valley, which I'm up to like 200 hours on. So, but to be fair, that's over like the last 4 years, so it's not the worst. Anyway, and now this observation duty game has come up, and I don't know. Maybe I should do more Twitch streams with that. Maybe make that semi-productive. I don't know.
We can all play together.
But that's the problem, right? It's like, no, I'm in a studio. I need to be utilizing this space, and we kind of are. We've got like a proper set back there, but that's for filming, just filming narrative stuff.
We have a craft night now.
We do have a craft night now. We've developed into that, so.
Something.
Yes. And we started playing Song of Ice and Fire.
Yes.
So that's also fun.
Which
I
haven't finished painting it yet.
It's okay. I haven't finished painting anything. So, yes, anyway. He donated the number of corn. 2-hour horror. Oh my gosh.
Is that the number of corn?
Is it 888? I actually don't know. I'm going to trust Jeremy on it. He knows. Wow. Okay, Mini Wargaming Studios, fine. You're right. Obviously, you're right. I've been on sabbatical long enough. I need to come back with some proper battle reports. But here's the thing, right? Not as an excuse, but sort of like my mental approach to it is like, man, okay, I'm in the studio now. I got to make a battle report again. Well, obviously, you have to have like good-looking terrain. And I've got beautiful mats already. Like those neoprene mats make such a difference. And then, oh no, is this frozen? Yeah, it's frozen. Hang on. Uh-oh. Because this thing is so awesome. There we go. 8 is the number of corn. Okay, there you go. That's the thing. So now it's like, now we have a bunch of terrain to paint. How much terrain do we have to paint, Tommy?
Boxes of it?
Yeah.
Somehow I feel like this is going to turn into if you give a mouse a cookie. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to want some milk. And with that milk, he's going to want a bedtime story. And with that bedtime story, he's going to, yeah, it just keeps going.
So maybe I'm in
So
the...
you really should just give him cheese. Tell him to go be a mouse.
Go be a mouse. Okay, so yeah, that's where we're at. But yes, overall, you're right. I know you're right. But it's like I also want to add
Dude,
some
like,
other
I'm
cool
always
stuff.
right. Duh.
And we have like media glitch, which we've been checking on Joel. If you follow the whole media glitch story, poor Joel, like he's still recovering from both a broken back and while also having corona. So yeah. But yes, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Need to get that figure.
Oh yeah, that's right, we do. The Goro. Need that.
So I'd totally be painting that right now if I could.
All right, I think we're due for a progress check. Can we show off your mini on the little picture on this thing? So that little Hefe there can... The turntable needs to go back on?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll turn it on in just a moment.
Okay. That's her telling me to...
Wait.
Hold off! Yeah, Joel had it extreme, he did.
And then as he turns, he'll get all the way around them.
All little Necron man.
It's not focusing on the right part. It's focusing on the cork.
Well,
You go turn on the motor, and then as they move, it'll focus on different things.
There you go. So pretty. Although I feel like That
Maybe we
camera
should-
could be adjusted a bit higher. There you go. So these are Necron Warriors?
Yes.
Nice.
Necron Carousel.
Chris Bello, hey man, how you doing? Oh my goodness, all my friends are in this chat. I'm so happy right now.
But I'm right here. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
You're chatting? It's totally happening. Yes.
You may have to back off more. It doesn't look like it's focusing.
Yeah. Can you adjust it? That seems better. Oh, this thing. I'm gonna just make it do it. Let us lock the focus so that it's not dumb. There you go. Some pretties. Or so they're only showing their backs. Is that what you've been working on?
No, when it comes around, it's going to be the fronts.
Oh, okay. Cool. Pretty, pretty. Let's see, Chris Bello, who is also a professional painter, says he likes the color scheme.
Oh, thank you. Wasn't my
Except
choice.
Dan. Dan, he's off busy being outside and being a mountain man. But we text sometimes. I miss him.
mean, it's Dan.
I know. My brother. See, Patrick. So after printing about 20 after priming about 20 Riot Quest models, I came in and assimilated them with my other 25 Riot Quest models. That many? I thought this was a small model count game. Is that just giving you options, or are you building like a massive army? I just finished picking up all the pieces from having dropped all of them on my hardwood floor. Ugh, ouch. Savage Brewski, off to work for me. Good to see you all again. I'll message terrain progress. Yes, please.
Bye-bye.
So instead of painting, probably for the rest of the week, I'd be repairing 45 to 50 models. Yep, my last hobby night, I assembled the rest of my Bulgrins. And after that, I did wonder, and I'd taken my time doing it, so we were kind of wrapping up for the night anyway. But I realized on my next hobby night, I probably have a fair bit of just model repair to do generically, because, you know, you throw in models in a case, and you're taking them to the game store back and forth, and you do that a bunch, and I have a bunch of old metal models.
Throwing your models in the case.
What are you talking about? They're made of metal, obviously. They're designed to be, like, handled roughly.
Thrown.
Obviously, they're designed to be thrown. Yeah, so, like, the little unicorn horn on my,
Thingy-majiggy.
yeah,
What's the name?
Devastator is broken off. And it's been broken off for a while, and I saw the piece the other day, and I'm like, I really need to glue this back on before I lose it. But then I remembered, like, Sorsha needs her staff reattached, and one of my mini crate models needs her arm reattached. Just things. There's just little repair things that always need to happen. Let's see, for the Necrons, is it a kind of NMM? Do you know what that is?
Non-metallic metallic. I mean,
Yeah.
yes. It's just a bunch of different blue colors that I used on it, so.
But none of them are metallic, right?
Nothing's metallic. Well, no, I lie. I actually, the copper and silver highlights are actual metallic because I'm lazy.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Let's see, Jeremy, if you have all 3 seasons of Riot Quest, it is a lot of models. Oof! Yes, I can see you. Why? Yeah, what am I wearing? A t-shirt. And jeans. And a beard.
You wearing a beard?
You're wearing a beard. What? Sure. So, for my combat patrol army, I figured it'll be led by, of course, Iron Hand Strachan. And I have 2 infantry squads that I have enough models for before I need to get more. And I know some of them are going to be like the toughest girls in the galaxy because they've got some amazing jungle betties that would make perfect Catachans. A Lehman Russ battle tank, which last I checked was 140 points. Don't know what it is now. And then I also had a Valkyrie with a last cannon, which would be like another 135 points. But that could also be 2 more squads of dudes. It's just crazy that a Valkyrie is that cheap, quite frankly.
Or another Lehman Russ.
Potentially, yeah, another Lehman Russ I could squish in there. So we'll see. For the Necrons, it looks like you are painting a glossy effect, like a lot of NMM.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, for the most part, that is what a lot of it is. So
Okay. Yeah.
we can thank DJ for the color scheme.
Well, since we're on the topic of battle reports, I think I know what my new poll question needs to be then. I've been coming up with a few of them, including like, what kinds of games everybody's playing this year. As far as I can tell, I mean, obviously Warhammer is number 1. I know a lot of people like Age of Sigmar. I have some of those models because of all the Shadespire stuff. And I still kind of want to do Shadespire battle reports. Those are super. I think they would be active and interesting. So here's the thing.
See that?
I know. Would anybody want to see Shadespire or Warhammer Underworld's battle reports? Like, I know it's still supported. Someone had mentioned that before in the chat. Swamposaurus, welcome. It's a great name. But when I think of doing a battle report, because this was the issue we ran into when we tried a Malifaux battle report, was a lot of models, and this was 2nd edition, so don't be mad because I'm not referencing 3M, but
It was too card focused.
it was very heavily card focused. Like minis would get onto some parts of the board, and then they really just stayed there, and you're like, static shot, cards, flip, 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 and it didn't seem very interesting to me, and I really couldn't quite figure out how to make it very exciting. I didn't want to do something really silly, like just put really exciting music over card flipping, like or get
comic book
reaction
noises.
shots of people.
Comic book. Wham! Bow!
I mean, that might have done it.
That could have
would
done
be
it.
amazing.
That would have been a lot of work.
Whammy.
Doing LVO this year. So probably not, unless I'm able to pull something out last minute, because it's this upcoming weekend. And LVO is honestly just a joy to go to. It's the closest convention to me. And yes, I really desperately want to go. So it's either not going to happen or you're randomly going to see a post of me over there just being like, I'm in Vegas. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Evening, ladies. Hello, Andrew.
Hello.
Let's see. I think Age of Sigmar Skirmish is a better option than Underworld. But here's the problem. I know the Underworld's rules, or can remember them well enough. I've literally never played a game of Age of Sigmar ever. Ever. And I think they finally, expanded past the
Ever.
one-page rule book or whatever that they originally came out with. Rule pamphlet. So, yeah, I'm sure Age of Sigmar might be a little more interesting. But then I actually have to expand my armies a lot more because I have some of Legion of
Take a lot of
Death.
time.
Well, yeah, now you're just building a whole new set. And so if that's the case, then I'm just going to see what really I have. So there's like War Machine, there's 40K, there's Warhammer Underworld, there's Warcaster. I do have a Riot Quest starter. There's Song of Ice and Fire. There's Malifaux.
Yes, I still have Malifaux.
There's Dust, which is actually really fun. I know it's a dead game now, but man, it is so fun. What else is there? Do you know? Thomas. Ever play Warcry or Underworld? No. Or Underworld, yes. Warcry, I did a demo game. I watched a 3-way demo game, actually. I didn't like it. Let's see. No, Age of Sigmar Skirmish is terrible. You're thinking of Warcry. Warcry is great. Oh, okay. I'm glad you liked Warcry.
You know, at one point we were talking about filming Undercity, because that was kind of fun.
Undercity was super fun. We were just going to change the terrain tiles a bit, right? Because they were all
Everybody liked them.
they were just cardboard, yeah. But if you could make like 3D prints of that. So under a city, Undercity is a board game. No, I think you did call it Undercity. I just misremembered it instantly. Undercity is in the War Machine universe, and it's actually a really fun game where you play in the Undercity of Corvus, and you play with the Black River Irregulars, who are a team of people who have a series of books that are also quite enjoyable. So we're stupid, what was it, Elish or whatever? Anyway, so you get to play them doing these various adventures because there's different setups for the game, and you can go through it. Kind of like Space Hulk, actually, in that regard.
Yeah.
Should play Necromunda. I haven't considered Necromunda, but I don't know how I feel about the High World thing. And that's like a whole new slew of models all over again.
Yeah.
So there is that. Small army size similar to Warmahordes. Skirmish is small, like 15 to 30 minutes. Well, okay. Don't even bother talking about time, because if you're recording a game, it's at least 4 times whatever your normal playtime is, because you have to get decent looking shots, you have to get beauty shots, you have to get the terrain, you have to get the layout of the board. It's a whole thing.
Especially if you want Wargamer Girl battle reports.
You want the creme de la creme. Let's see. Greetings. You guys play board games too?
Yes.
Board Game Dungeon. Flo is the board game queen. At least the one I know, because damn.
I may have a room that's full of board games.
She's a hustler too. Like if you ever play her, she'd be like, I've never played this before, and then she just like womposaurus you.
Raffle stomp.
She just totally face rolls you with her because she's so used to playing, and she's a very aggressive gamer. I don't know where she got this silly habit from, but man, it is intimidating.
As if she's not an aggressive gamer either.
Blood and Plunder. Everyone loves pirates and sailing ships. Well, maybe it's just me. I can tell. Pirate ships are fun. It wasn't Blood and Plunder. What's the sea mine game that's on the 2 ships?
Rum and Bones?
Rum and Bones.
I just said it. Like
You did? Oh, okay, yeah. That one is fun. That one is fun. Let's see. I'm not thinking of Warcry. Warcry is terrible. I hate games. I hate games end on turn 1. Oh, okay. Oh, you've had games end on turn 1. Yeah. So Necromunda probably would be a ways off just due to the model investment. Riot Quest would be easy and very active game. So yeah, I have access to those. I do have those models. I just have to paint them. Chris, I've not played Warmahordes since the edition change. You and a whole heck of a lot of other people, Chris. It's a little bit of a problem right now. Miniatures, not minutes. Oh, thanks, Jeremy. Blood Bowl, an oldie but a goodie. Oh, yeah.
We thought about doing a Blood Bowl league.
Yeah, we have talked about a Blood Bowl league that would lead to a Super Blood Bowl, but man, that's a lot of work too, potentially. So what we'd have to set it up where we'd have however many players we could get representing their armies, right? And then they'd be tournament fighting off and pairing off until you had your playoffs and whatever. So maybe that'd be pretty fun. I don't hate Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl's definitely chaotic, and I feel like that would be very active cinematically. Chris Bello, for board game night, you should film a good 12-hour game of Dune.
Okay,
Why?
I actually don't have Dune, but we could do another Arkham Horror.
Arkham Horror's fun. Betrayal, House on the Hill is a lot of fun. Mansions of Madness?
Mansions of Madness, and
Yeah.
I also have Journeys Through Middle Earth now, which is the
Tolkien
Version of it.
Oh my gosh.
I also have Gloomhaven.
Flo, LOL, go girl. Favorite board game? What's your favorite board game?
Cthulhu Wars.
Cthulhu Wars, okay.
I'll say, like, that
Just hands down, it's not even a question. Wow.
I really enjoy Scythe, though.
Okay, yeah, Scythe is fun. I have
It's a more accessible game.
Is it? It's pretty involved.
I
guess
mean, it's
Cthulhu
accessible
Wars.
as in able to get it.
Okay, yeah. Because you had to get Cthulhu Wars on the
I had to
secondary market.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was still like $400.
Man, a game of Cthulhu Wars could be fun because those miniatures are awesome looking.
And it would give me an excuse to paint them.
It's true. I do. I understand. I've got these amazing resources. I've got the studio. I've got like a professional painter. I've got access to this stuff. I just need to like focus it. And time. That's not the thing I have. But
Well, the painting part, really, I will need the time for that. But
yeah.
that requires just handing me stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Warcry can end real early, but it's fast and you can just reset. Problem with AOS Skirmish is dice rolls that rarely land and kill in one shot. Oh, is it just really fatal that way? I mean, honestly, War Machine is kind of that way too, but... Thomas, I love Rum and Bones. Jeremy, I have the Vikings for Rum and Bones. I've been meaning to paint them for a long time. Titan Wargaming, I only started Warmahordes in March 2020. It's been a refreshing change from 40K. Helps to have a different game to play and other models to paint. Models for War Machine got real good. We're talking board games now? Oh yeah, Melinda's in on it. We have over 300 board games here. Good Lord, Melinda.
Why have I not been invited up?
Road trip to Denver. See you in a day.
Weekend to Denver. I'm getting LASIK.
No, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we need to make a trip of that. But as far as board games, I don't think we personally actually own that many of them. We just always know people who have them, and then we just hoard miniatures at this point. Not like involuntarily too.
Dylan and Flo.
Okay, Dylan. Yeah, if you remember him from Media Glitch as well, and
Well, that
some
would
of my
require
names.
Dylan actually
From Space
leaving
Hulk
his
and Malifaux.
house.
Yeah, true.
I'm way more available than Dylan is.
Play Monopoly.
I mean, I have Looney Tunes Monopoly.
There was a version of Monopoly that actually sounded crazy. What was it? Is there a 40K Monopoly? There was
There
something I
probably
saw. Probably, right?
There's definitely a Zelda one.
You
But
could do a Clue battle report, but everyone would have to dress up.
yes.
I see no problem with this.
You even have
It's
a
just-
fancy,
that-
we have
that's
a
how you
fancy
get all
Clue
girls to
board.
show up. We're like, we get to dress up and play Clue? Yes, please. Is there tea involved? Done. Like, just put that out on like Facebook Meetup. Hey, need someone to play Clue with me? I have a beautiful version of Clue. It's that. Yeah, it was my mom's, and it's the it's in set, so it's this thick board, and they're all little dioramas inside with a glass cover over it, and so you walk along the board, and you enter a room, you actually like in the room. It's super pretty. Is there a Monopoly?
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know if you can get that anymore. Melinda says you're always invited over for gaming. We have a few with miniatures. Yeah, that's definitely become a thing. In fact, I think if you are ever going to make a board game on Kickstarter, if you include miniatures, you almost auto-fund. So, Dark Souls has
we have
great models
Nemesis
to
coming
paint.
in soon. The new version of Nemesis. So
Dude, I'd totally play like any of the Resident Evil board games. There was Resident Evil 2, and I thought there was another one. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
We played it on Media.
We did. It was actually pretty fun. Like it's one of those things where like this is obviously like a you're using the license as a quick cash grab, but they actually have like decent rules. And you're like, oh wow, look at that. Like I love it when that comes together. Titan Wargaming. Dark Souls has great models to paint too. I didn't know that was a board game.
yes, it's great because you open it up and immediately it says you're dead. You died.
Because that's the whole point of the game, right? You're dead.
You die.
So, is it as hard as the video game? Because I
I've
heard
not
that was
played it.
notoriously
I've not
difficult.
gotten to play it.
Jeremy, I have a huge Vansar warband, but I just don't know anyone here that plays. Servant of Nero, hello, made it to the stream at last. Missed the last couple, no worries, man. Monopoly. First sale is death. Plunder Den, I'm a big kid. My favorite board game is Trouble. Might not make a really good battle report, but excellent drinking game. I remember
my
Trouble.
God,
In
Trouble.
fact, I think it's one of the few games I actually never played. Like, there were a lot of those staple games that when I was growing up, we didn't, like, we had Monopoly and Clue, and that was about it. And then everything else is kind of a weird game. I remember one that we'd play a lot when I was a kid called 13 Dead End Drive. And it was, have you heard of it?
I have heard of it.
It was really fun. It is the whole cardboard setup. You build this thing, and you're in this, trying to remember exactly, but it's a mystery. And there's like a stone or brick fireplace and hearth, and there's a big portrait on there. And the portrait, like there's this thing you trigger and the picture comes down, and that's who I think dies, and you need to figure out who killed him or something like that. It's been a minute. But that I remember liking a lot. And then there was another one that we also played a lot called Crack the Case, which was just murder mystery. Like, can you figure out the mystery based on this little story that it tells you? And so it's like a comprehension game
going on here with the games you guys play.
Hey man, my mom was original goth. Like, of course we, like, all the dark, weird stuff we totally got attracted to. Yeah, and murder mystery. Like, of course, she was all about murder mystery. Let's see. I own 40K Monopoly and Fallout Monopoly.
There you go.
Of course you do, Paul. Melinda.
Chris Miller has it. Do a mousetrap battle report.
That could be cinematic, actually. And we did play Mousetrap, actually. I do remember that one. And it never worked right. Like, it is the worst. Melinda, we got a new one I thought you might like, but it has no miniatures. It's a draw and write called Hadrian's Wall. So much planning, maybe not enough war for you. Although battles are a big element. Hey, I'm not a warmonger, Melinda. Thank you very much.
Just a war gamer.
Just a war gamer. Well, and I do appreciate that level of strategy. Like, even if I'm not always great at it, I do appreciate games that do require you thinking a certain number of steps ahead, especially logistically. Let's see, Todd, I need to get my copy of the Bloodborne board games. I'm super excited to paint those models as well. Woo, those sound really cool. The best board game ever is Talisman, full stop. It's all right. I played it on Twitch. There's not Twitch, yes, but on stream. It's on Steam, and it's the 40K version of Talisman, which was quite fun. I played it with Dan and also Owen, former mini wargaming. Play Mousetrap. And sorry. Yeah. Wamposaurus, sorry, George pulled me away, but I wanted to say thanks for the compliment on my screen name. I've been here a while. Used to go by the given name of Christian, changed it to match my streaming name. Oh, okay, nice. Play Uno. So maybe the challenge here is just try to make these like these normal games look very, very exciting. Almost.
I mean, if anyone can do it,
we could figure something out.
I mean, I've got a number of like basic board games also.
Yes, you do. Including, what, Catan recently? Ticket to Ride was another one?
Well, I meant like really basic, like
super.
Yahtzee. And I have children's Yahtzee with Mickey Mouse on it, okay?
Can't
Off
make a
that
battle report of that or we'll get sued.
Yeah. that mouse charges. Love Eldritch Horror. Looking forward to getting Arkham Horror. Is there any version of Arkham Horror?
There are a couple versions of Arkham Horror.
Since we last played it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a third edition, and they actually have expansions for it.
Gonna tap out later, peeps. Bye, Bells. Thanks for hanging out. Digital version is Garbo. I mean, it was fine, but it went a long time. I do remember that. It was a long game. Servant of Nero. I'm so clueless in the world of board games. Coup, Monopoly, that's pretty much it for me. Dude, I understand. I totally understand. Coup is fun. We played it a lot at Valhalla. That's where I learned it. Most of the board games I ever play, I learn about and play at Valhalla. Because I know you have game nights, but it's...
Well, I haven't had one in a long while.
Yeah. But, yeah.
I'm game starved, okay?
What was that one you were playing? Root? No.
Root.
Was it Root? What's the one with the tree and the little
Everdell.
woodland creatures are fighting for whatever?
Everdell.
Everdell, yeah.
In Everdell, you're trying to build the best city. In Root, your little woodland creatures fighting each other. So they're both games with little woodland creatures.
That's the thing. Coup is fun. I know. Yeah, Melinda, it's really good. The best trick and strategy I've ever learned in Coup is just always tell the truth. Until you don't have to.
I mean...
Until you can't. Tell the truth until you can't.
I do, but then nobody believes me.
That's the point. Oh. that's the point. Because everyone just by default usually doesn't want to believe you. Because they're like, no, you're lying. And I'm like, Duke, told you. So it's pretty funny. Mighty Empires. I don't know that one.
I don't have that one.
Yahtzee with 5 rolls, but D20s. Huh. Okay, I'm getting a sense of like shorts I could do of memeable images of these games. Melinda, Dice Throne, Small World of Warcraft. Oh, we did play that one, didn't we? Mechs and Minions, Project Elite, all games that have made me think of you. Aw, I miss you too. Let's see, Vassal Manoth. I actually found your channel through watching a playthrough of Arkham Horror ages ago. Oh my gosh, I know.
It was the one I was in.
Yeah.
Forever ago.
There's
Dylan was in that too.
Yeah, that's right, he was. Yeah, it was a good group. We did that Halloween,
Yeah.
around Halloween, yeah. That was
Played
good.
it and edited it in one night, so that it could be up for Halloween.
Oh my gosh. So we can move faster sometimes. There's an Arthur version called Avalon. Okay, yeah, Everdell. Melinda knew that one. Vassal, and Everdell is great. I like both Everdell and Root. Plunder Den. I have Doctor Who Yahtzee.
Doctor Who, yes.
Serpent of Naraku, everyone's first move. I am the Duke. Give me my money. Yep. Also Resistance. Play Another Day in the Core. Oh goodness, I don't even know that one. Serpent of Nero, there's like board games are flat than other ones where you have models than tabletop when it's all models and board after, right? Chris, you know what? Play all the games and film them, no limits.
I mean, if you insist.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to get that
You have
together.
access to them.
That's true. You guys are making this sound really exciting, actually. Maybe this is a good idea. Just start with that while I'm painting the backlog of miniatures or getting terrain ready or anything primed or built.
I mean, it's something
You guys are
can
so smart.
do.
Why didn't I ask you guys earlier? What's wrong with me? Awful description.
Great many things, Miranda. But we love you anyway.
Despite my many flaws. Do it! Okay, Chris. Man, I'm getting lectured from like all of my Canadian friends tonight. So, waiting for Dan to message and just be like, do it! Like, where are you? What are you doing? You're not even watching.
You're just gonna get sent the video of like, what's his face?
Of Shia LaBeouf.
Yes.
Do it! Just do it! Do it! Okay. Okay, I think that's a good idea. Terraforming Mars is really fun, but you need 4 players for best experience, in my opinion.
I have that one. I haven't gotten to play it yet because, like you said, you need 4 players.
Terraforming, okay. Serpent of Nero, oh, I get them conceptually, but there are so many of them out there, adaptations and original IP. It's hard to keep track with all of them and know broadly what's what. No, that's true. That's true. We could probably get 4 players. You think DJ would be on board?
Yeah.
Oh.
Though we should probably have a couple trial runs first.
Nah.
Otherwise, DJ's gonna spend the whole time being like, that doesn't sound right. And then we're gonna spend an hour looking up the rules because he refused to read them beforehand.
Bless his heart. Everyone's got their style. Are you guys rules readers before you play your games, during your games, or after your games?
Is that your poll question?
Yes. The answer is yes.
That is a great idea.
Or I never learned to read.
Exactly. Now I'm jealous. No board gaming without me. Well, come on down. Tell me the next time you're down. We'll make a point to record something.
I was to say, like, we've got plenty of space. We do. We can.
Yeah? Yeah, I guess it doesn't necessarily have
And
to
we have
be
a
here.
really, really comfortable couch that's like a bed.
You do
so.
have an amazing couch. Did you
I
ever
was
get
to say, we have an air mattress, but the couch is better.
Did you ever get that paint out of it?
Almost completely.
Oh, good.
There's like a very faint green spot
Aw,
where
Chris,
most of it's fell.
Chris's answer, I don't read rules. Rules read me. All right there, Chuck Norris. Melinda, all of the above. Titan, normally before, then get it wrong, work out halfway through, and reread after. Make him watch the Watch It Played on YouTube. That's how I'm learning my rules. I hate reading rules.
Yeah, he started doing that, but he still makes me read the rules. So then he can tell me I'm doing them wrong later.
He just reads them out of spite. Rebecca Kronberg, mostly during and after to settle arguments. I go with Calvin Ball. Oh my goodness. Do most people really just read the rules after or during?
I read them before because I'm the one who's expected to teach everybody it.
Yeah.
Which I've actually become very good at.
Yeah.
If you listen. Yes. Then get a thing. If you want me to teach you the rules, listen to me teach you the rules. And then ask any questions that I haven't filled in.
I love Watch It Played. We depend on him. Yeah, he's great. Souvenir, I'm one of many, I'm guessing, who can recite the rules perfectly when discussing the game, then promptly forget them when you put dice in my hands. No, I love rules. I always grew up loving rules. I was a very bossy little kid.
Feel nice.
They do. They make me feel nice. So if I have the opportunity, so here's the caveat. I love reading rules beforehand, even if I don't fully conceptualize everything that's happening, because sometimes you really have to see it.
Sense,
yeah, you have to see it played out. But if you've read it, you get a base level understanding that covers a lot of the concepts, and then when you see it played, things start clicking.
Yes.
That's my ideal way. Half the time, though, I'll be at a convention, or I'll be at Valhalla, or I'll be somewhere where I'm not expecting that I'm about to learn this board game, or whatever game, and so people are like, come on, I'll just show you how to play it real quick. And
it's never real quick.
it's always really tough doing it, because I guess most people just don't really explain things very clearly whenever they're talking about games. Like, there's probably exceptions. I'm sure there's exceptions. But most people, when they tell you how to play a game, they'll be like, don't worry about this part now. I've already built the army for you. This is all done. Here, just do X, Y, Z. And I'll be like, but why, though? and then that explanation is always, like, kind of fuzzy because it leads into the rest of the concepts of the game. And
to be clear, she doesn't often play games with me where I'm teaching it.
True. But it's hard, like, unless you're really in a teaching mode, I don't think most people realize that. For me, I really like the base concepts of, like, here's the goal of the game.
That's really important.
Right? Here's aspects of, here's, like, the main things you can do in the game, your movement, your actions, your whatever. And it's never told in that order to me. It's always like, well, you can do this thing over here, and here's this weird special ability. And you're like, I don't care about a special ability. Like, how do I move? So that's always a little fun. No, I read them before. Rules are for nerds. Yeah, I know.
I mean,
oh, Chris.
this may come as a surprise, but...
Oh, play chess on stream.
Oh,
Why?
God. That'd be terrible.
It's been a long... Chess was literally the first board game I ever learned. Yes.
I used to play against my grandfather, who's really good at it.
Yeah.
I never won.
Oh, no?
And so I've come to admit that I just might be really bad at chess.
I doubt it. It's a memory game at the end of the day. It's why machines are so good at it. But
I mean, I have a really good memory, but I might be bad at chess.
I think the last time I played chess, there was this guy I was hanging out with who had a lot of problems, but he was a chess savant, straight out. And so whenever, like, he just always wanted to play chess, and so I'm like, okay. And I lost plenty, right? Because he obviously does this all the time. And so, but after a while of just game after game after game, you kind of start figuring out, if not the game as much, maybe your opponent. And then I'd start winning. Anytime I won a game, he wanted to put the game up. He, like, was the sorest loser ever. And then that was the last time I played chess.
I think when I was soul searching for my other half, I was one of the things. I was like, are they a sore loser?
Mm-hmm.
If so, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, gotta grow out of that real quick. Cronenberg, Confucius, say I hear, I forget, I see, I remember, I do, I understand. Yes, but you still have to read and see and do, because doing is at least seeing and possibly reading. Good morning, 47. Hey, Kahneman Studio. Welcome, welcome. Good evening, ladies. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. So far, so good. We're just chatting about all kinds of different games and possibly making battle reports of very mundane games. I got Ryan a shirt that says, I read the rules so you don't have to. That is definitely a flow shirt. I'm okay. I got over the COVID. Oh, good.
Well, I feel like mine would be that, and then underneath it, it would also have in parentheses, and you made me.
Well, fair. Servant, it's memorizing all the theoretical lines, all the dozens of openings, have ridiculous amount of book learning behind them. Eesh. And a lot of that is experience, because, I mean, War Machine was the king of that, right? I mean, how many 4-move checkmates were there in War Machine? They were constant. There were minimum 1,300 different rules interactions to remember. And because no human actually really memorizes all those, I'm sure there are savants and exceptions to that, but for the most part, even the tournament players didn't actually memorize that. You then had meta plays. What were the things being played right now? And the counter to that always was when someone really just came in with an outsider list that people weren't used to, they weren't cheating, they weren't using rules that they didn't already know, but because people were only familiar with that one aspect of the meta, because you can only kind of hold in your head so many thoughts and rule interactions at one time, a bunch of people get their butt kicked by this outsider list because it was just a different way of thinking, even though it's all in the same rule set. So yeah, that part it's actually part of what makes it interesting, but that many rules interactions can really slow stuff down too. It's why learning War Machine is oftentimes like putting your face to a grinding wheel. Chris Bello, I love sore losers. Their tears sustain me. Oh, Chris, you're so adorable. Todd, I had a coworker who was a certified chess master, like actually ranked whatever you needed to be considered so. Oh, goodness. Hi, Jake Dog. We're doing all right. I guess we're getting ready to wrap up here, actually. So we'll have to do a last progress check. All right, guys? A progress check while I read the rest of these comments. Wamposaurus, I am really enjoying the Crusher Stampede rules for my Tyranids army. I can finally, I finally feel I can field an army of big scary bugs to terrorize the Imperium with. Ooh, sounds like weird nightmares I'd have. Andrew, I'm the only person who can read the rules out loud, verbatim, and make everyone more confused. Oh my gosh. Paul, sustain me. Come to my shop. You will be a god. They cheat. Bots are primed. Congratulations, Thomas. Got the bots primed. PPS Lion. Finally glad to caught you on a stream, even though it was the end of it. Oh, hey. Yeah. I was ranting about the Hengehold scrolls earlier, so don't watch that. Damn. Good to see you, though. And I appreciate you joining the stream. Yeah, we're just kind of wrapping up here. We're just chatting about types of battle reports to do. And with regard to War Machine battle reports, I do miss doing them. I think the big argument has always been like not really doing Steamroller anymore. Like the asymmetrical battles were more interesting. But that's also where it's hard to get players. So. Oh, I just got here and it's over. I'm sorry. We moved it to an hour earlier. Let's see. How much everyone loved Dave at Mini War Gaming's new chaos models he make. I think they're amazing.
That I should get some to paint.
Chaos models?
Just for fun.
Just you want to paint some chaos? Oh my gosh.
Kind of chaos.
Yeah, what kind?
All the chaos.
Nurgle chaos, Corn
I have not
chaos,
decided.
Zinch Chaos.
Oh, she's like, look at how cool that is. I want to
Slaneshi.
paint that.
I feel like you lean Nurgle. You could definitely paint up some Skaven. Skaven are fun, admittedly. Who doesn't love Skaven, though? We will rebuild. Oh, I'm so sorry, Patrick. Alfonso, have a good night, you two. Flo, those Necrons look great. Yes, good job on those, for sure. Well, I have a long way to go, but I'm having a lot of fun putting this fort together. Nice. Well, glad to know battle reports are still being considered. Still watching your old ones over and over. Well, I appreciate that. I do. Enjoy an after-shoot dinner with some things. Aw, thanks, dude.
Figure out where this dude's at.
Nurgle is the best god. He is the god of all. Closer.
I'm adjusting the camera itself.
Yeah, do that. Coolness. I like the corn because corn delicious and blood for the blood god. Blood dog. Right.
Well, Nurgle's the one that enjoys the most
There we
custom
go.
models.
The most what?
The most custom models.
True. You can, yeah.
He's got eyeballs now.
He does. He's looking so unhealthy. It's great. He's just lovely.
I mean, he was pretty unhealthy looking from the get-go.
Cool. Well, oh my gosh, Taryn. I didn't realize how much. Thank you so much. We'll have to definitely get some paints with that. Wow. All right. Well, we'll end it here. You guys all have a wonderful night. I'll talk to you again in 2 weeks, and maybe I'll actually have something worthwhile to show you as far as all the discussions of tonight. But yes, thank you all for joining. We'll see you hopefully in 2 weeks. You guys have a great night and an excellent week.